Everyone, welcome to the Board of Education's business this Thursday, August 20th, 2026. I'd like to ask everyone to please rise for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's hot in here. Okay. Questions on agenda items only? Mr. Moss?
My question is about D1A. So I noticed that there has been a change in the way that the certifications is being listed on the agenda. And I wanted to ask when the change took place, when it first took place, and why the change.
What change are you talking about, Mr. Moss?
The way that the certifications of the people who are being hired, it has changed.
What we decided to do was to add all certifications that every member or every candidate has. That's what we have here.
And why did you make that change?
I just wanted to be transparent to ensure that everyone knew the certifications that they had. That's it.
Thank you. This gives me an opportunity to congratulate you as superintendent for making this change. I think that this is a very innovative addition to answer the question that I and probably other parents in the community have about the qualifications of the individuals who are being hired at each board meeting. I see this as a significant positive change, and so I thank you for being transparent even in your answer this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moss. Anyone else with questions on agenda items only? Okay, we will move forward. Be it resolved that the following items be approved. B1A through B1M. I need a motion.
Garcia.
Motion by Brandon Garcia. I need a second.
Burgos.
Second by Cindy Safari. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Be it resolved that the following items be approved. B2A through B2AA. I need a motion.
Harmon.
Motion by Aileen Harmon. I need a second.
Burgos.
Second by Julie Burgos. All in favor?
Aye. I
Opposed?
abstain.
Abstentions? Thank you. So moved. Be it resolved that the following items be approved. C1A and C1B. I need a motion.
Burgos.
Motion by Julie Burgos. I need a second.
Malave.
Second by Maria Malave. All in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstentions? So moved. D1A, appointments, resignations, and leaves. Certificated personnel. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the certificated personnel action report contained in the board packet for the August 20th, 2026 board meeting. I need a motion.
Garcia.
Motion by Brandon Garcia. I need a second.
Harmon.
Second by Eileen Harmon. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. D1B, appointments, resignations, and leaves, non-certificated personnel. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the non-certificated personnel action report contained in the board packet for the August 20th, 2026 board meeting. I need a motion.
Safari.
Motion by Cindy Seferi. I need a second.
Malave.
Second by Maria Malave. All in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstentions? I abstain. So moved. D1C, appointing student member to the Board of Education for the 2026-2027 school year. Whereas in accordance with Education Law, Section 1702, and the provisions of Brentwood Union Free School District Policy 2245, ex officio student member of the Board of Education shall appoint a student member to serve in an ex officio non-voting capacity during the school year, and whereas the Brentwood Union Free School District values student voice and recognizes the importance of including student perspectives in district governance, and whereas Christopher Argueta Claros has been duly selected to serve as the ex officio student member of the Board of Education for the 2026-2027 school year, having met the eligibility requirements set forth in Policy 2245, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Brentwood Union Free School District hereby appoints Christopher Argueta Claros to serve as the student member of the Board of Education in an advisory and non-voting capacity for the period commencing August 20th, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027. And be it further resolved that the duties, limitations, and privileges of the ex officio student member shall be in accordance with the provisions of Policy 2245 and applicable New York State educational law. I need a motion.
Garcia.
Motion by Brandon Garcia. I need a second.
Safari.
Second by Cindy Seferi. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Congratulations, Christopher. Christopher, can you join Lindsay at the podium, please?
All right. You're going to repeat after me. I, Christopher Argueta Claros, do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
ex officio student member
ex officio student member
of the Brentwood Union Free School District
of the Brentwood Union Free School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Christopher, congratulations, this is your seat, Diana. Please come over here. So let me just tell everyone. Felicidades, Christopher. Felicidades a los papás por esto tan lindo. Let me just talk to you a little bit about Christopher and who Christopher is. So Christopher is a 12th grade student at Brentwood High School and an excellent student who is very involved in our school community. He's a student leader, participates in several honor societies and early college opportunities, and is also involved in our music and theater programs. I don't know if you remember last year, he was in Mamma Mia. Remember that? He was the lead person there too. What I really like about Christopher is that he wants to make a difference. He has a strong interest in healthcare and plans to study nursing after graduation and becomes a forensic nursing practitioner. I don't know what that means, but it sounds a little scary, but okay, that's okay. Christopher's Brentwood journey began in kindergarten here at Pine Park Elementary, and I know that he's going to do an amazing job here as a student ex officio liaison. So congratulations. Felicidades a ustedes, padres.
D1D, Salary and Benefits Agreement. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby approves the Second Amendment to the Employment Agreement dated June 20th, 2024, with the Superintendent of Schools and authorizes the Board President to execute said amendment. I need a motion. Motion by Eileen Harmon. I need a second.
Teferi.
Second by Julie Burgos. All in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstentions? So moved. D1E, Administrative Table of Organization, Director of Information Technology and Libraries. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby appoints Samantha Barilla to a 4-year probationary period as Director of Information Technology and Libraries effective September 1st, 2026 through August 31st, 2030, at a salary set forth in the negotiated agreement between the Brentwood Union Free School District and the Brentwood Principals and Supervisors Organization, BIPSO. I need a motion.
Garcia.
Motion by Brandon Garcia. I need a second.
Malave.
Second by Maria Malave. All in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstentions? So moved. Congratulations. D1F, Administrative Table of Organization, Assistant Coordinator of Special Services. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby appoints Michelle Pepe to a 3-year probationary period as Assistant Coordinator of Special Services effective September 1st, 2026 through August 31st, 2029, at a salary set forth in the negotiated agreement between the Brentwood Union Free School District and the Brentwood Principals and Supervisors Organization, BIPSO. I need a motion.
Burgos.
Motion by Julie Burgos. I need a second.
Teferi.
Second by Cindy Seferi. All in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstentions? So moved. Congratulations. D1G, Last Chance Agreement. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the Last Chance Agreement dated July 29, 2026, between a certain staff member, Local 237, City Employees Union International Brotherhood of Teamsters, and the Board of Education of the Brentwood Union Free School District, and that the President of the Board of Education is authorized to execute the Last Chance Agreement on behalf of the district. I need a motion.
Garcia.
Motion by Brandon Garcia. I need a second.
Teferi.
Second by Cindy Seferi. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. D1H, Last Chance Agreement. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the Last Chance Agreement dated July 30th, 2026, between a certain staff member, Local 237, City Employees Union International Brotherhood of Teamsters, and the Board of Education of the Brentwood Union Free School District, and that the President of the Board of Education is authorized to execute the Last Chance Agreement on behalf of the district. I need a motion.
Garcia.
Motion by Brandon Garcia. I need a second.
Harmon.
Second by Eileen Harmon. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. E1A, student enrollment figures, we have none at this time. F1 through 2 are miscellaneous items for information only, which are board action memos and the minutes of the July 13, 2026 policy meeting. G1A, public comment. We'll open the floor for public comment at this time. Is there anyone who would like to address the Board of Education and the Superintendent of Schools? Mr. Moss? Thank you, Mr. Morse. You have 3 minutes.
I have a question. Does the district withhold BTA teacher dues from the Brentwood Teachers Association for any reason? If so, what reasons?
Good evening, Mr. Moss. I do not know the answer to that question off the top of my head. I can certainly check with the district, and we can follow up with you with a more specific answer.
This is not a legal question. This is a financial question. I do not want to talk to the attorney about a financial question. This is a financial question, not a legal question. So I'm asking, does the BTA have any of its dues withheld? I think our business office would know that the answer to that question. If any dues are being withheld before they are given, before the check is written to the Brentwood Teachers Association.
Thank you, Mr. Moss.
I'm sorry, I do not want to talk to an attorney
I understand.
about a financial matter. I'm addressing the board president and the superintendent and the business official that are here this evening, who I'm sure know the answer to that question.
Mr. Morse, I do not know the answer to that question at this time. If you would just permit me to investigate this, and within a week, can I have an answer for you via email? Is that okay?
Thank you. That is a very acceptable answer. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
What are the reasons for the abstention votes tonight that we witnessed?
I'm sorry?
What are the reasons for the abstention votes that we witnessed this evening?
My abstention is my son is on the HR report, and specifically, he is being moved from one building to another.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And my son's on the agenda.
Thank you. What is the reason for Mr. Ahmed's absence this evening?
It's personal in nature.
Did he give a reason?
He did.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to also ask a question about a FOIL that I asked for and was closed out that did not have any financials on the reimbursement that is in the Brentwood teacher's contract. And so I want to bring it to the board's attention that a reimbursement is owed to the district in the amount of the true and actual dollar cost of replacing the reduced required teaching load of the president of the Brentwood Teachers Association, plus all fringe benefit costs for the replacement teacher that will be paid directly by the BTA to the school district, and payments shall be made quarterly. I FOILed for those documents over a year ago in June of 2025. The FOIL was closed out in July of 2026, and I did not receive any proof that these payments were billed and paid and reimbursed. So my question is, do you all have any knowledge that the district is actually being reimbursed for the teacher that replaces the president of the union when he has full release time?
Mr. Moss, your time is up.
Oh, sorry. So, Mr. Morse, I am going to digress to our school attorney, who is authorized to answer any and all questions by any individual that stands at that podium. So, Candace?
Mr. Moss, are you asking for information that was not included in the FOIL that you believe should have been included in the FOIL?
No, I'm asking if the board trustees themselves, who are the arbitrators of financial duties here in the district, have knowledge of those payments coming into the district. That's what I'm asking.
I do not know that the trustees have knowledge or even know exactly what you're referring to at this point in time, so I'm not at all going to say that the trustees have weighed in on this situation or that they have an opinion regarding this situation. If you are requesting records, if you're requesting documents, then by all means we'll provide that to you, but we're not required to provide you with the trustees' thoughts on any particular situation.
It's not thoughts. I think the people in the community have a right to know whether the trustees are aware of payments that are being rendered to the district or not. I think we, as people who vote for the trustees, should know whether or not they are aware of that. And if they're not aware of that, certainly by me even asking that question, I'm sure that that's going to come to their awareness. So you're ready to answer that question at the next board meeting.
Mr. Moss, your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moss. Any other questions from the audience? No? Okay. All the new business, Wanda?
Of course, sure. So can you believe that we have 21 more days for students to come back here to school? So I have some highlights for you. I can't wait to have them back in 21 days. So Christopher, 20 more days, that's it, that's what you have. As I mentioned, we have excellent summer programs here, and I'm so proud to say that we service more than 3,000 students this summer. We had so many different programs taking place throughout the district, including our sports clinics. I don't know if you noticed, but we had on Newsday was an article that showed that we have 5 of our students became referees. So this is a big round of applause for our students and our teachers. So proud of them, and this is one-of-a-kind program here in Brentwood. So a big thank you to all the teachers, administrators, and staff for making this possible. I also want to say that, when we have 3,000 students, we also have to give them food, right? So we service this year, the food service department, Best Souther, and the food service department, I heard 33,186 breakfasts, 29,919 lunches. So thank you so much to the food service department and to Best Souther to providing this food to, the food to our students. Delicious food, right? I cannot even make my lunch, and they are making all of this. So this is amazing. So congratulations and thank you so much. I'm also very excited to say that we have 75 students are going to graduate on Tuesday. We have our summer graduates who will have 75 students, and I'm so proud of them and all the work that they have done during the summer to be able to cross the stage. Also yesterday we hosted the kickoff to a new school, right, a new school event. It was an amazing event. The kids had me dancing the Macarena. I had to dance the Macarena. They received school supplies and also book bags. There was a lot of dancing, snacks, all the departments, central administration was there, teachers, the Plaza Comunitaria, and I just really want to send a big thank you to Michelle Stiliano, Samaira Ortiz, Cristina Romero, Denise Fuentes, Plaza Comunitaria liaisons, everyone who participated. They started there, I think it was at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they didn't leave the place until 6. BNG, IT, everyone. It was really an amazing event, and it's really showed a sense of community that we are here in Brentwood. We are a family, and it showed the kids were so happy to be there. So 20 more days, and they will be here. They will be here with us. Also, looking ahead, I just want you to know that the schedules will be posted by August 26th. I mentioned that already, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I sent a letter. We have a transportation hotline also and a bilingual hotline. All the information is on Parent Square, so make sure that you look at that. Also, there are still a lot of things happening throughout the schools as we're getting ready for September. Our buildings and grounds team continues to work very hard to make sure that our schools are ready for our students here in September. And when you drive around the district, you can see that a lot of work has already been done. I don't know if you saw, we received the lights. We have the lights already installed here at the field, at the soccer field. They are not, we can't turn them on yet, but they're there. Also, you can actually see we have air conditioning units being installed, parking lots, bathrooms, and so many things happening. And I just want to let everyone know that everything that we do here is intentional, strategic, with all the work that we're doing here for the district to ensure that our district is beautified, right? And I want to extend now Stacy an invitation so she can go ahead and present. And she wants to present, you're going to see this presentation, all the amazing things that we're doing here in Brentwood, in particular with the funds that we have reserved to be able to do this for our students. So Stacy, I turn it over to you.
We're going to go over tonight a lot of the things that are going on in the district. And when Ms. Ortiz Rivera says 21 days until the start of school, I'm very nervous. We have a lot going on. It was a very aggressive summer. But somehow, some way, it all comes together and we end up opening on time, no matter how many hours we have to work Labor Day weekend, but we always get it done. But yeah, so I want to talk tonight about investing in Brentwood's future, about the planning that goes into all of this work, and our financials as well. So we'll talk about those strategic investments as well. There we go. So what do we look like today here in Brentwood? We have about 18,000 students. We brought back a number of our UPK students. We have 11 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, and 2 high school campuses with over 3,000 employees spread out across the district. We have our mission statement up there. But we want to talk about also, where do our dollars go? We have a very big budget, $728 million this year in our general fund budget, and you could see all the areas in which we spend our money. Instruction, transportation, food service, technology, facilities, and EIP, special education, arts and music, athletics, and everything else you see around that wheel. But what centers our decisions or our focus when we're deciding how to allocate these dollars is always about the student. What is best for our students within the district, because that's why we're here. So all of those decisions, all of those areas, all about the students. On August 3rd, just a couple weeks ago, there was an article in Newsday. The title was 12 Long Island school districts had cash reserves beyond the legal limit in 25-26. Brentwood was one of them. So I want to talk a little bit about how that happened. The legal limit is 4%, and we were over that. And Ms. Ortiz-Rivera, in her quotes, really kind of captured how we got there. The first quote, and as we go through the presentation, we'll go through both of these quotes and what it means. But the first quote, by strategically using available resources, the district can address critical infrastructure and educational needs while reducing the need for costly borrowing and minimizing the long-term impact on Brentwood taxpayers. So if you look around the room, all of these pictures that we have, this is stuff that's going on right now, this summer. It's not stuff that projects we've taken on years ago. This is happening right now. And that's why I'm a little nervous about 21 days, but we're gonna get there. The second quote, continuing to freeze or reduce the tax levy while recurring expenses continue to rise would eventually require the district to rely on reserves to support ongoing operating costs. That approach would deplete reserves at an unsustainable rate and create a structural imbalance in future budgets. And that's a lot to take in just a couple of sentences, but we'll look at that a little further in the presentation. So first, how did we get here? How did we grow our reserves? If you look back to the beginning of that chart, where'd my mouse go? Over here. Foundation aid was rather flat. This is our foundation aid, which is the biggest portion of our state aid that we receive. So it was rather flat. It stayed kind of around the same amount. That was that double dip recession. It was very hard times here in Brentwood. So we were just over 150 million. As we progress throughout the chart, you see the 3 lines that are in green. That's when the state decided to fully fund foundation aid. So look at how flat we were for many years with foundation aid, or slight increases, and then it just grew at a tremendous rate. As of the 24-25 school year, that's the 3rd green bar, foundation aid was fully funded. Now it's a little questionable about what's going to happen with foundation aid, because the state is looking to make changes to the foundation aid formula. They did the whole Rockefeller Institute study, so we're really not sure what that's going to mean for Brentwood. Even a little change they make to that formula could completely impact how much we receive. So far, the minor adjustments that they've made have been positive for us, so our foundation aid, at least in 25-26, continued to grow. They made an adjustment with the L students and how they're counted. But if you look at 26-27 estimate, it's still growing, but not by nearly as much as it had. During this time, those green bars that you see there, we also received the COVID stimulus funds. For us, that meant an additional 64 million in funds. So we received a lot of money in a very short time. And to spend that all at once just wouldn't be wise. And we'll go through why. What are some of the things we have to look at when we're considering how to spend our money? I'm also going to look at the tax levy in this chart. The blue line on top is how much we could have increased the tax levy by. The red line is how much we actually increased the tax levy. So the first year you see on the chart, 21-22, we could have gone up as high as just over 3.5%, but we didn't increase the levy at all. That's one of the years when they were fully funding the foundation aid. That's one of those green bar years. So we received so much in foundation aid, there was no need to increase taxes within the community. We did that same thing again in 22-23 and 23-24. It wasn't until 24-25, now foundation aid, if you remember from the chart before, it was fully funded by them. We didn't know what was going to happen, what changes were going to be made. So we did increase the tax levy, but not nearly as much as we could have based on that blue line. Same thing holds true for the next 2 years, 25-26, and 26-27 right now is an estimate. It's what we talked about during budget development. That's raising the tax levy by 2.5%. We'll set that at the next meeting in September when I get all of the information I need from the town. But especially in 26-27, we talked about raising it 2.5%. We could have raised the levy by as much as 5%. 4.98, I believe, was the actual number. But we're not looking to do that. So what does that mean for the community? How much have we actually not taxed that we could have? If you look at the individual years, 21-22, we could have taken an additional $4 million from the community, which we did not levy. That was the difference between the red and the blue bars. 22-23 was another $4 million rounded. Now this has a compounding effect, so it's not just $4 million separately in each year. We didn't take $4 million in 21-22. Then there was additional monies we didn't take in 22-23, so it actually compounds. So it's $8 million in the second year, 22-23, if you add them together, and so on down the chart. So we've been very responsible with how we're, the impact on the community. And really, it's what the community can bear. And one of the tax levy limit, some may like it, some may not, I guess most like it. But one of the hard things or difficult things with the formula is when you don't levy money, you don't make that up, or you only make up a fraction, 10% of what you don't levy in the following year. So if you don't levy to the full amount, you're going to be behind for years to come. And unless you want to do a supermajority vote, go over the tax cap, there's, no true way to make that up. Not saying that we have to, just putting that out there is to some of the negatives that come with that tax levy cap. But we have no plans of doing that, so that was just, a little for educational purposes. So what does responsible financial planning mean? It means looking ahead. Decisions made today will impact decisions made in the future. So you have to make sure they work together. We can look at this as when we were renovating our cafeterias. We started that a couple of years ago. And we then knew, it takes a long time to plan a capital project, and I have a slide on that. But while we were planning that, we had started the construction on the cafeterias, and then we decided to air condition our cafeterias. So we went and we made an adjustment to the cafeteria project while we had the ceilings open to put all the vents up there and insulate them so we were ready for the air conditioning, which was going to come a year or two later. But that saved us from taking down a new ceiling that we had just put up, to do the air conditioning. So it's looking ahead. It's making sure things work together well. It's also being ready for emergencies and unexpected costs. Boilers break. May not wait for the next budget cycle. So we have to have enough in reserve, enough so we are ready to fix anything that may happen. Think about your house, if an oil burner goes, it's a big investment for the homeowner. Now think about the school district with 23 buildings and old equipment, and our boilers are not, $10,000 oil burners. They're multi-million-dollar pieces of equipment. So we always have to make sure we're ready. We also protect the taxpayer value in our investments, in our assets. We don't always need something new. Let's do the maintenance on the equipment that we have so it stays in service for a lot longer. It's what we do now that impacts the future. And again, we always support learning. We keep our choices with what's best for student opportunity. Now, one of the things, we can't always control our future expenditures. One of the things we have to look out for is charter schools and the expenditures and what they're doing to our budget. So to understand how a charter school works, how they're funded, the district of residence, so where a student lives, regardless of where the charter school is located, that district of residence has to pay tuition to the charter school. The tuition is significant. This year for Brentwood, it's over $20,000 per student who attends a charter school that we have to pay to whichever charter school they go to. And that rate is established by the state education department. It's not something that we calculate or we put together. So we also have to look at that, and I will show on the next slide how much we're actually paying in charter school tuition and how it's grown just astronomically. So in the 22-23 school year, the first bar on that chart, we were paying about $350,000 to charter schools. Fast forward to 26-27, our estimate is now over $4 million just in the one school year, and that's of the kids we know about right now going to charter schools. There may be more as the school year starts. There are always some shifts. And keep in mind, that's before any of the new charter schools potentially move into the community. There is a possibility of 3 additional charter schools moving into this area, 2 in Brentwood, 1 in the Central Islip area. So that would definitely pull a number of students from the district. And we've done presentations on that. We've looked at estimated costs. That alone could be well over $20 million a year just for the new charter schools. And that could happen potentially next September of 27. So we have to be prepared for that. When I'm looking at budgets, I have to look at that. I have to look at other costs that are outside of our control, outside of contractual costs, such as health increases, utility increases, and just try to project that when we're putting together a budget. So what is our philosophy? Again, as you heard on a number of slides, it's what is in the best interest of our students. We always want to be transparent and accountable to the community. Our financials have been on our website. We probably have 10 years of that on our website under the business office area. Planning, I've talked about quite a bit throughout the presentation. Stewardship, something we deal with, the Board of Education, Cabinet, really everybody here. Some of the most sensitive topics that you'll ever hear. That is other people's children and other people's money. And we always strive to be the best possible stewards of both of those, each and every day with each and every decision. And then there's always opportunity. We always search for grants and other ways to bring funds into the district, and we've been quite successful. We have some pretty big opportunities out there. I don't want to go into detail now, but there's quite a bit that we're working on now. It's always how can we fund other things in the district and bring more value to the district, which will eventually help the students and their opportunities. So every project has a timeline. Doing a project, a construction project like you see all around the room, it takes time. It's not like doing a project in your home where you could just call, 1 or 2 contractors over, have them look at a bathroom, let's say, and then decide, hey, I can close down my bathroom, I'll use another bathroom, and we'll get it done right away. When you're dealing with school district projects, there are many steps we have to go through. We identify needs, and we do that in many ways. We have a building condition survey that we have to do every 5 years. That's done by an architect and engineering firm. We ask for requests every year from our principals and department heads when we do our budget development each year. And also we do visual inspections, just walking around, you notice, need for things. So there are many ways projects come to us. So there's no shortage of that. So then we have to look and prioritize the list. What do we want to get done? We may want to get a lot done, but we may not be able to afford it. So we prioritize, or we may not have the time to get everything done, which is often the case. So we have to whittle down that list and see what we're going to do. Then we have to design it, depending on what type of project it is, whether we need an architect involved or it's something we can do on our own with a contractor. but there's always a design phase. Then approve and fund the project, bid and award. Bids take time, they have to be advertised, we have to get the proposals back, look them over, and then eventually award them. Then it takes time to build, and we have limited time to build, unlike the example I used in your home. Most of our projects get done over the summer in the school buildings when the students aren't there. This is the first year, I've been here 21 years, the first year we've ever closed down the high school because we have so much work going on there in so many different areas. So and the summer's only 8 weeks. It seems like a long time when you're out of school for the summer, right? But to me, it's only 8 weeks, and we're doing a lot of work in a short time. So we don't get that much opportunity. So we always have to try to work projects in where we can. And then, of course, we inspect it, make sure it's safe, and then open it. Open the constructed areas. So what we've accomplished, and this goes over the last few years, and some are still in progress. Comfort, all of our classrooms now have air conditioning. We're working, we have a 3-year plan to work on air conditioning in the large spaces now, the cafeterias, the gymnasiums, the libraries. We've replaced several boilers. In our fields, we have a football in the soccer field's ready to go. We've been playing on that a couple of seasons. Football field is underway and will be open this season. I don't know about the first game, but will certainly be open in September. Every parking lot in the district's been done. Every playgrounds, every elementary school has a new playground. All of the middle schools have the ninja courses, as well as the freshman campus. Learning improvements throughout the district, and these are numerous. I'm only touching on a few of the things that we've done over the past few years. Technology rooms have been upgraded, science rooms, art rooms, and we have more to come. In the music area, auditoriums, music rooms, instrument storage areas, and stage lights. Sonderling Auditorium has, I'd say, professional stage lights. It's really a high-quality system we've put in there. Building improvements, and this could be one slide on its own. There are just so many. The wall laminating. That's putting the wainscoting on the walls where you see in this hallway here. You see it in Ross right now. And we're looking to expand that to Sonderling as time permits, as we can get in there. The ceilings, we had so many ceilings with those 1-by-1 tiles that you can't even get anymore, and they would fall out, and it would look terrible, and we had to put them back in. We've replaced quite a bit of that, hundreds of thousands of square feet of that. And we still have more, but within the next few years, I'm confident we'll be done. And we'll all have the 2-by-2s or more modern ceilings in all of our areas. Locker room conversions, that should be conversions. In the elementary schools, the locker rooms right outside of the gymnasiums, students no longer change, so we converted that into offices for some of our PPS staff. We've done roofs throughout the district, and the college room just came out great, and the high school students really like that, and we put the whole patio outside, so it's the real college experience in that college room. Welcoming. We've replaced a lot of the signage, the LED signs, the school signs, and also just about all. I think this is our last summer of cafeterias. Every cafeteria will have been renovated by the start of school. In the health area, we've renovated many bathrooms, added water fillers, bottle fillers, the water fountains with the bottle fillers in all of our schools, throughout the schools, and many HVAC improvements, not only the air conditionings, but the unit ventilators within classrooms as well. In terms of safety, a lot of improvements there as well. Our security vestibules we have in many buildings, and there are more to come. The Evolve system that we have at the high school and the freshman campus as the students walk in. They keep walking at a natural pace, and it'll do some scanning there. We added a guard booth as you drive into the freshman campus, so that is in place now. Saltos is a new improvement to our district, hasn't been seen, something we've done all summer. And that is where teachers will actually be able to use their badge, so their district ID, to swipe into classrooms, so they won't need keys anymore. It also helps in the event of a lockdown, lockout. So that's a huge improvement we have within the high school and the freshman campus. And at the high school, we are completely changing the fire alarm. So that'll be done in both Ross and Sonderling, and that is getting done this summer. So some of those projects went back a couple of years. What are we doing this summer? Again, just a sampling of what we're doing, new large area air conditionings, that's gyms and cafeterias and libraries in a number of buildings. We have 5 buildings, we're working on that. We're adding food stations in the Sonderling cafeteria as we do that renovation, kind of a food court style layout that will, the cafeteria will be open, but the full food court style will not be ready at the start of school, but kids will be eating, students will be eating in that cafeteria. And we'll work on that throughout the year. Freshman campus, I mentioned the security booth. We're putting air conditioning in the gym there. Laurel Park, we redid their parking lot. That's all done, came out great. Tech labs, we're continuing improvements at the middle schools, epoxying the floors. We have the 3D printing wall, so that's looking fabulous. Athletic fields, we mentioned the turf football field. The track will not be ready till spring of 2027. That has to do with when you could actually lay the surface of the track. You need certain weather conditions, so we have to, for the track itself, we have to wait till the spring, but the football field will be open well before that. The Culinary Center, which is going to go in between, right outside here, right outside our building, but in between the soccer field and the football field, it is going to be a concession stand for those fields when we have events going on. It'll have bathrooms in it. When it's during the school day, it's going to be an industry standard kitchen with cutting edge technology and equipment there, and I have some pictures of that. So here are some of the things, again, pictures, you see some of them around here, and I have some in the presentation. These are our portable classroom replacements. So on the left, you have the freshman campus, where it's a 2-story addition, and eventually we'll take those portables away. To the right, we have Southwest. We're also working on replacing portables in the back of Sonderling. Security enhancements, I have a picture of the guard booth at the freshman campus. In the middle, you'll see Evolve, and to the right, you can see the Saltos. That's that swipe system we put in the freshman campus and the high school. So why is the high school closed this summer? We're doing parking lot renovations, the fire alarm, air conditionings in the cafeterias and the Ross gym. And then to the right, that is the Sonderling cafeteria. It's about a week ago or so. So it looks better than that now, but it's still, it has, you know, we have 3 weeks, and it's going to be ready to go for the start of school. Elementary gym air conditioning, we're doing that, like I said, in about 5 buildings. Not all elementaries. And then that's that locker room conversion I mentioned before, where you could see in the picture on the left where we made doorways in the hallway. We actually had to break through the cinder block wall, and those are going to be offices for our PPS staff. Here's our tech room, the epoxy floor on the left. And look at how nice our high school courtyard is now. We have a pond again, and it's flowing, and the fish are happy, and it came out really nice. We have some additional work we're going to do in that. You see the walkways, the asphalt walkways there. Can use a little facelift, so we're still working on that as well. This is a rendering of the culinary building, the concession stand that I mentioned. That's going to go between the football field and the soccer field. So the foundation is poured now. And we're going to start building that soon once everything cures. It'll just take a little bit, but throughout the school year, you'll see that progress. That's one of the things, because there are no students there now, we can work on that area throughout the year, and we do intend to. The pool. So we had emptied the pool for most of the summer this year, and you could see we had the whole inside resurfaced, so you see somebody working there. And when you stand on the side of the pool and look down and realize it's 12.5 feet, that is scary to look down. So I stayed a little back when I took the picture, but there's a picture of the pool. The pool's in good shape now, has water in it. And I took this, the picture on the right just the other day when the lights went up at the, that's the lights at the soccer field. They're also up at the football field as well. Not operating yet, but we have the lights up, ready to hook up the electric. We just have to work that out. So planning for financial risk. Why don't we spend all of the money that we have? Think about your household budget. If you made $100 a week and spent $120 a week, eventually you'd be out of proportion. And that's where we talked about, you know, a structural imbalance in your finances. Same is true for a school district. So we don't spend everything, because when those emergencies hit, we need to be able to pivot and take care of that. So we do keep money in reserve, just for that. And there are other things we have to worry about too. And I mentioned some of this already. Inflation. This year alone, our transportation costs go up by CPI, Consumer Price Index, and that number is set by the state. So the CPI for transportation this year was 5%. So that's a large increase in 1 year, and think about it. The tax levy cap is only 2%, or CPI, whichever is lower, and that formula uses a different CPI than the transportation increase. So we always have to worry about that. Construction, we had talked about, we have money set aside for that, but the timing of that, charter schools I went into already, state aid, foundation aid, I had talked about how that may change. We don't know what the state's gonna do. There have been years when our state aid has been flat, where we haven't received any increase, and we are extremely dependent upon state aid. It represents about 66% of our revenue here in Brentwood. It's not true for every district, but here in Brentwood, it's about, you know, 2/3 of our revenue. And emergencies, again, immediate needs may not wait for a new budget, so we have to be able to adjust to whatever is needed. And we always think about protecting the taxpayers. Plan before we spend, like I was talking about with the cafeteria ceilings and how we prepared for the air conditioning and running those ducts in the ceilings before we had to, so we didn't have to redo any work. Maintaining what we own, you know, just servicing it, increasing the useful life of any equipment that we have. Use competitive processes, such as bidding. And we've done some of our own RFPs lately. There's been a change in how we can use some of the contracts out there with piggybacking. So we're doing our own competitive processes now, doing our own RFPs. And always the flexibility, we always need that to respond. The one thing you don't want to do is have a tax rate that is flat 1 year or flat for a few years and then jumps up to, you know, to a very high percentage. You always want to keep that rather steady. It helps the community to plan, it helps the school district to plan, so we always try to project out for a number of years when we're thinking about, should we increase the tax levy, shouldn't we? How long can we sustain this? So it's all about proper planning and multi-year planning, not just 1 year. If we're just looking at 1 year, expenses could sneak up on us and really have a devastating impact on our budget. So I think we've done very well by keeping things relatively steady for the community and also doing a lot of good throughout the district. It's really almost unheard of how much we've gotten done, and these pictures are beautiful. And we're going to show something as soon as I'm done here. I think I have one more slide left. Just some video of what we've done as well to really let you see what's going on here. So any questions? I'll start with the board.
Thank you, Stacy. Questions from the board? Questions from the board?
Huh? Yeah,
There's a video coming?
yeah.
Oh.
We're going to show a video in a minute. Any questions, or you want to go right to the video? Any questions in the crowd? Okay, you want to put it on?
Thank you, Stacy. So this is more than a news article, right? So it started, the conversation started with this News 12, Newsday, August 3rd, conversation about how we were egregious for having additional funds in reserve. But what they failed to mention is that it was through proper intentional planning. So this article that was put out to create this hysteria in our community, this misnomer, or to have our community question what exactly we are doing with their money. I hope this answers all of those questions. It's very easy to forget where we were 4 years ago. And we've used the word transformation, metamorphosis, all words that describe what has happened here under this current leadership and administrative team. We've been transparent about how we've been spending our money through budget workshops, which we live stream, budget brochures that go out into the community. So I ask everyone at home, pay attention to these brochures, because we are being transparent with you through the workshops and these brochures to let you know exactly where your money is going. Not only do we explain it to you, when you walk into the buildings, you see it. It's in action. It's in the opportunities being provided to your children. There's no one here taking money and putting it in our pockets. It's impossible to do. It truly is impossible to do with all of the auditing that happens in the district. I urge you, if you have questions about articles that are put out through social media outlets via newspapers or Instagram, Facebook, whatever have you, contact the district. Come to a board meeting. Ask the questions. Ask them. We're here for that. We're not hiding. We're here front and center every month, twice a month, here for our community, doing the job we were elected to do. Now, it may differ with your opinion at home, but what doesn't differ is the commitment that we have to our children and our community. Now, I know there were some questions about the air conditioners at the beginning, onset of the previous school year. Parents saying, oh, the buildings don't have ACs, the classrooms don't have ACs. All but, I believe, 10 had ACs, if the number is correct, Stacy. It may be 2, but,
Right now, they all have them.
right, but at the end of last school year, right? There were about maybe a handful.
We have a lot of classrooms. It
Right.
took a
There was
while
about
to-
maybe a handful. So
Yeah.
there were maybe somewhere between 2 and 10 classrooms out of how many that did not have. Now, we also have to remember, many of these buildings had not been touched in over 60 years. So you have to ensure, it's not, parents are saying, oh, I'll buy an AC and put it in the window. It's not just putting an AC in the window. It's making sure that the electrical grid inside of that building can withstand the electrical capacity that is going to happen. It's never that simple. If it was, believe me, we would have done it a long time ago. You have to make sure the infrastructure can withstand the electrical impact without shorting everything else that we have going on in the building. Lastly, I want to say the district website has undergone a transformation. Time and time again, I see parents asking questions on Facebook. Nothing wrong with that. Please learn to utilize the district website. We go on Instagram, we go on Facebook, we shop on Amazon, Shein, Shine, whatever you call it. If we can do that, we need to learn how to use the resources available to us via our district. And one of those is our district website. Everything, school supplies, how to get a lunch application, what's going on for breakfast, lunch, programs, clubs, specific information for buildings. Let's learn to also use our district website. It's a tremendous resource for our parents. Again, we are here to serve. We are always available. Please utilize the team you have that is willing to help you. Questions from the board? Comments?
Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Stacy. I hope people realize, and thank you, Wanda, and all of us,
Yes.
right, that it's a concerted effort and it's strategic. And we're so happy to be a part of it, and we hope that you're also engaged in this process and that you will see the finished products as they continue to happen. So thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you, Stacy, for putting this presentation together and all the work that goes behind the scenes, right? That with P&G, the meetings, the weekly meetings that you have with them and the architects is truly, really something to admire. The work that you do to ensure that all these projects in 21 days will be completed, right? Yeah, 21 days. And to the board, you know, I really want to say thank you for your commitment. It is really something special to know that you care so much. This is a second, third job for some of you. You really care. What we're doing is so strategic and intentional that when you work like that and it's for our students, you can actually see the product. And we're already seeing this product because you're working so hard. So I just want to say thank you to the cabinet, because we just bought new furniture for all the UPK classrooms. I know Stacey worked on that. The ICT classrooms that Rhonda's putting together, we have to make sure that everything is ready. The instruments for the music programs, all the grants that you're working on also, Vincent. So thank you so much, you know, for all the work that you do also for our students. So I just want to say I'm so proud, and you saw that, and it's, before you know it, the kids are here, September 9th.
And lastly,
rush it.
I want to thank Candace Gomez, our counsel. I know sometimes it's tough up here with us, but I just want to make it absolutely clear for anyone sitting in the audience or at home. Candace is here and authorized and has the full support of this Board of Education to answer any and all questions. There's never a question, and no one should ever feel like they are going to dismiss her at any point in time while she is sitting on this dais with us. So Candace, please know that you have the authority and are authorized on behalf of this Board of Education to answer anyone's questions, whether they want to hear it or not. You're very welcome. No, thank you. And again, just a reminder at home, just because someone feels entitled to an answer doesn't mean that we have to give one. And there are circumstances under which we are obligated not to answer because it impacts current litigation and personnel matters. And we will not breach anyone's privacy or right to it. Anything else from the board? With that, thank you everyone for being here with us tonight. I hope you enjoyed that presentation. And I'd like to end the meeting. I need a motion to convene at 9:15 p.m. Motion by Julie Burgos. I need a second.
Safari.
Cindy Safari, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved. Have a good night, everyone.